This is housing development. Thanks for keeping a date. The role that housing plays in the social and economic development of a country cannot be underestimated. Interventions in housing by the government are widely acknowledged as one of the ways by which the social aspect of the life of the citizenry can be impacted, especially through mass housing, otherwise called social housing. But the big question is, what is the core role of government in housing provision? How can the government improve social housing delivery for low-income Nigerians? How about the mortgage foreclosure law yet to be adopted and passed in several states? What effect will all this have on the provision of affordable housing for low-income Nigerians? Stay tuned as we discuss these and more on the program today. As always, I am Flora Ani, your housing diva.
The Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers says the cumbersome procedure in obtaining a certificate of occupancy or governor's consent has aided land grabbing, racketeering, and other unscrupulous activities affecting the sector. The president of the institute, John Bull Amayego, who made the revelation at the maiden award ceremony of the institution held recently in Abuja, called for the repeal of the act and its removal from the constitution to allow for a speedy review. In his remark, he noted that housing was still a critical challenge in Nigeria and its provision, delivery, infrastructure, social service provision, and public service challenges were surmountable. According to the president, the circumstances and factors that justify the enactment of the Land Use Act of 1978 have changed over the last 45 years, so its review is necessary for light of the current situation. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has blamed the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing and the National Inland Waterways Authority for allegedly granting extension of the line of Banana Island. The governor stated this on Saturday when he led a delegation of government officials for an on-the-spot assessment to the site where a 7-story building under construction collapsed in the Highbrow area, killing 1 person and leaving 25 injured. When contacted, the Federal Controller, Ministry of Works and Housing Sector, Margaret Adejobi, denied the accusation by the governor, stating that since a 2003 Supreme Court judgment, the federal government had not granted approval for land or building in the state. Towards addressing high interest rates in the real estate market, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, FMBN, has advised stakeholders to engage the federal government and institutional regulators towards creating special intervention funds and subsidies for the mortgage industry. FMBN Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Madu Haman made the call at a virtual forum organized by Central Bank of Nigeria Financial System Strategy, also known as CBN FSS 2020, tagged Navigating Current Challenges in the Nigerian Mortgage Market, while noting that the Central Bank of Nigeria recently adjusted the rate to address inflationary challenges affecting prices of building materials, cost of funds, and other items, which has resulted in high prices of housing across board. Haman said the high cost of borrowing in the sector is one of the biggest challenges facing it at the moment. He said the FMBN, which manages the National Housing Fund (NHF), fixed the rate at single digits for NHF participants to access mortgage loans. However, he lamented that the contribution to the fund has not grown substantially to address the housing challenge in the country. He stressed the need to look outside the contributory fund to provide the cheapest source of funds for mortgage origination across the country.
For more information on housing finance and construction news, do well to visit www.africanhousingnews.com. Moving on, how can the government improve social housing delivery for Nigerians? Let's watch this housing expert as they task both the state governors and National Assembly members to be housing friendly.
Over the last 5 years, Nigeria has made a huge leap in terms of institutional interventions for housing, but there is a lot more that needs to be done. Reacting to this recently over a Zoom interactive section with Housing Development, Jide Odusholu, CEO of Up to 5 Holdings, he also called on the government to create an enabling and conducive environment for real estate to thrive.
Create a fiscal environment that is friendly to investing developers. When I say investing developers, any developer who has developed or is developing a minimum of 100 to 200 homes, especially in targeted areas that you feel you want to see grow, give them fiscal incentives.
For Professor Charles Iyangete, on his part, tasked the National Assembly members to play a key role in ensuring we have policies that addresses affordable housing in Nigeria.
The Assembly needs to play a key role in ensuring we have a policy that addresses housing. When I mean a policy, I mean a national policy that addresses housing. At the moment, we tend to want to address housing from a large project perspective. If I'm a first-time homeowner, I cannot put my finger on a policy on housing that really cares for me. And it is that first entry, giving that step into the ladder of home ownership, that is so crucial. So we need a policy, and the Assembly can do a lot in ensuring that that comes to pass.
Ezekiel Ojo, Managing Director, Shelter Origin, also charged the National Assembly members to leave a positive legacy that they will be remembered for.
If I happen to meet the National Assembly people, I will tell them to formulate a policy, let them legislate it, and let it be part of what they are leaving behind as legacy on housing, that every state or each state every year must produce a certain number of houses that is depending on their needs. And it should be something that is sustainable.
Roland Igbinoba, founder, Peace and Housing Company, speaking, also tasked states to pass the model mortgage foreclosure law to enhance housing development.
Without a proper investment climate, you cannot do housing or housing finance transactions. And what the foreclosure law is doing is giving investors confidence. And I think that more states need to pass that bill just to create an investment-friendly environment.
It is pertinent to ensure the availability of affordable housing by giving a better commitment and attention to the delivery of housing facilities that are affordable and accessible to Nigerians, especially those within the no-income and lower medium income groups.
Housing expert there charging National Assembly members and the state governors to be housing friendly. One area of concern there also is the issue of foreclosure law, as spoken by Roland Igbinoba. Some of the merits of the model mortgage and foreclosure law include creating an enabling environment for states to provide affordable housing for their citizens by de-risking the housing and mortgage sector and unlocking its potential for economic growth. It will also serve as an enabler for the Ease of Doing Business Index, as the state will improve, and this will in turn further improve the business case for new investment in housing and catalyze access to finance for citizens of the state. I will be back in a moment.
I'm Debbie Erb. I work for OPIC in the United States, and keep watching the Affordable Housing Development Program.
Thanks for staying with me on housing development. I make sure to give day-to-day Nigerians voice on issues as it concerns them. Let's get some opinions from Nigerians on the mortgage system in the country.
So mortgage policy is good in the sense that it affords civil servants the opportunity to own houses at a cheaper rate. Yes, I believe, but the truth of the matter is that, in every disciple, there must be Judas. Why some people tend not to believe in this mortgage policy in this country, Nigeria, is because of corruption tendencies. There are quite a number of people, they make this investment, and at the end of the day, they did not see headway. So such people, there is no preaching, nothing you will tell them that makes them to believe on mortgage policy. But there are quite a number of them that works. So I think I would say about 75 to 85% of them works.
Mortgage system is, in Nigeria, it's okay. Mortgage all over the world. Mortgage, it helps people that cannot afford to buy properties as a stretch like other people. At least they go through mortgage system. They can be able to afford, property of their own a place where they can, retire after working hard and all that. When you get old, you need a place of retirement.
Looking at Nigeria, mortgage is not working. For me, being somebody who works in the private sector, I've not seen maybe a pinch of the effect of mortgage. I do hear that mortgage work, but I've not seen really. And even where I work, I contribute to mortgage. And I hope that maybe one day I'll be able to assess it. But for now, I've not seen anybody who assessed it. I also believe that talking about mortgage at this time is very key, because when one look at the monies being spent on rent, especially in a place like Abuja, mortgage would have been the best option, so that you know that once you move into a particular apartment, you're paying to own it in the long run. I would say that mortgage is not working as far as Nigeria is concerned, and maybe something has to be done drastically, and even most especially looking at those in the private sector, how they can actually really benefit from this.
I think this mortgage of a thing would have been a something that will help people like us to earn a house of our own without stress. But it's unfortunate that the rates is too high. What they charge people is too high. I don't know, because I have not done that, but I do hear about it. So, and I don't know if it is accessible to people like us, to the common man.
The mortgage system is, let me call it, is a very good program. It's a very good system. But the mortgage system is a very good concept overseas. But in Nigeria, you find out that the mortgage system is attached to the public sector, to government sectors. And because of the intrinsic lack of trust in government by Nigerians. So anything you mention government, people don't have trust in it. Even when government comes with the best of interests, best of intentions, I find that the systems in Nigeria are weak. Government systems in Nigeria are weak. So most policies in terms of mortgage system fail. So people have not got the trust in an otherwise trustworthy program. So when you say mortgage, you don't normally see much of private sector doing mortgage, because even if you are in the private sector doing mortgage in Nigeria, you find out that it still has to be you have to talk about government paying the salaries of people who are involved in the mortgage. So it is due to the lack of trust, not that they don't like it, but how much trust can you give to a system that is weak? That is the problem.
Let me quote the last respondent there on Voices on the Street. How much trust can you give to a system that is weak? A typical mortgage rate in Nigeria ranges between 7 and 10% for the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and between 15 and 25% for commercial mortgage institutions. With that sort of interest rate, it seems arguably difficult for many salary earners in Nigeria to acquire a house through the mortgage system. To address the housing challenges in the country, we need to have a robust mortgage industry, and it has to be at an affordable interest rate. At this point, I'll be handing over to Uyi Agbomofegbe. Stay tuned.
It is almost midday and housing development crew pulls up at the premises of Construction Skills Training and Empowerment Partnerships, also called SYSTEMP, in the Kubwa area of the Federal Capital Territory.
Mr. Hui, you're welcome. Good to see you.
Thank
How
you
are you
so
doing?
much. It's a pleasure to be
You're
here.
welcome to SYSTEMP.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Welcome.
So I'd like to take a look at what you do here, then the facilities, and how that is making a difference in the sector.
Fantastic.
Great.
This is Lawrence.
Oh, Lawrence.
There's the head of training.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
He looks branded already.
Yes. You're welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Since we are here to learn about the projects that are dear to the heart of SYSTEMP, perhaps there is no better person to provide us insights than the organization's Chief Operating Officer, Seth Ogungbemi.
You're good if you don't have quality artisans who have the required skills and the ability to execute what you want them to execute, then you might be having a problem in your hand. And I'm sure that is testament to some of the challenges we'll be having in the industry, building collapse and some other things. So because we have people who may actually be laborers who just suddenly see themselves as professionals and professional artisans. So we felt the need to plug that gap to ensure that artisans who are the bedrock of the building are quality artisans and they are well trained. Yes, we have the technical skill, but that's how much that can do. So that's how SYSTEM, which is construction skills training as a then and empowerment project started, which is to train these artisans and build them to be quality and assessed and certified to be able to deliver the quality kind of jobs that we want in the industry.
While capacity building is central to its corporate objective, SYSTEMP takes demography very seriously and wires it into its training scheme, as seen across the different classes whose lectures we respectfully interrupted.
Hope you're enjoying the class. Fantastic. So what we do is that most of the digital related skills happen in the classes.
Lawrence Gabriel, Head of Training and Assessment at Skills Training and Empowerment Partnerships, sheds light on how exactly his organization is bringing value to the built environment.
We're not really disrupting the process. We're only bringing standardization. Because in the industry, there's a need for standardization. Somebody claims he has followed his dad for certain years. That's the informal apprenticeship, which we still work with. But there's no measure of his level of competence. So what we're bringing into the system that is new is just to bring in some level of standardization to define who is a competent artisan and who is not. So what the industry is trying to do under the National Skills Qualifications Framework is to establish minimum standards that would be able to be used to certify somebody who is a competent artisan before sending him into the industry.
Housing Development observes a mason trained at system as he puts his skill to work. For Cassidy Danladi, however, it is different strokes for different folks.
I'm a beneficiary of systems free training, just concluded, and they taught us about web designing and some soft skills that we could learn basics. Of course, they have a paid program that we are going to key into subsequently. But basically, they went beyond their corporate social responsibility to impart knowledge that could help us in our work. I work, and this has improved me not just as a person, but as a skillful person.
This lady, Emegan Indidi, a plumber trained as system, also shares her journey with us, one that has earned her both recognition and awards.
The first award I got was the best female and also the youngest among the artisans that competed. That was 2021. Although we signed in for the competition about 2020, so because of the corona, so everything now moved to 2021. So I got the first female, the best female, and also the youngest. And also along the line, the female women builders, Association of Women Builders, also acknowledged my excellency, and they gave me an award of excellence for the best female plumber.
Temitope Akinkumi is the special projects lead at System. He, like all others at the organization, sees a clear path that allows for substantial scale going forward.
We are going to also see how we can reach out to professionals and managers as well.
Hello, my name is Casey Arrest. I'm the Executive Director of the Centre for Affordable Housing Finance in Africa, and we're based in Johannesburg, South Africa. Please keep watching Housing Development Programme. It's a great show.
Welcome back. It's still Housing Development, the program that advocates for the provision of affordable low-cost housing for Nigerians. Are you an estate developer, residential and commercial estate agent, mortgage and investment loan providers, insurance providers, home interiors and landscaping experts, home appliances and electronic suppliers, home networking and communication providers, energy suppliers and equipment providers? You have an opportunity to showcase your products and services at the floor of the largest housing and construction event in Africa, the 17th Africa International Housing Show. Come July 24th to 27th, 2023 at the International Conference Center, Abuja, Nigeria. Now here are reasons why you must attend the 17th Africa International Housing Show.
Abuja Housing Show is where new thinking, new ideas were being cooked, where paradigms are being shifted, where capacities are being built, where talents and new thinkings are being showcased, where new products are being showcased. It connects the demand side to the supply side, and it's not just a trade fair where you go to buy. You also buy not only material things, you get knowledge. Because people do come all over the world to share their best practices. So best practices were shared, and people always leave the trade fair always enriched, always better. About 3-4 years ago, I made it compulsory for all my master students to participate in the fair. If they don't participate, then they cannot say that they have enriched program. If it's good for me, it's good for my students, it's good for all Nigerians. You have what you want. Are you looking for new ideas, new ways of doing what you have been doing and not getting results? Come, you will see someone who has tried new thinking and has gotten results. You want to enter into the market and you are just a novice, you want to learn. Come, you will have clear mind after the housing fair. So I'm really encouraging us that block your those days, block it in your calendar and really come here. You will be blessed you did.
Abuja Housing Show is a unique platform. It's literally the one place where you can get the best minds in Nigerian real estate coming together and sharing ideas, and you can get all the information you need under one roof. And something we've been part of for a while, and we intend to continue being part of it. And we're looking forward to the one happening this July.
I've always liked the idea of Abuja International Housing Show. I've always supported AITS. I see it as a unique platform to network, to learn, and to share experiences.
Abuja International Housing Show has been the baby of Hydroform. Since inception, I can tell you that we have never missed one. So we at Hydroform endorses Abuja Housing Show, and we recommend it to the general public. And we are using this platform to say you are going to miss a lot if you don't show up.
This is where I'll be wrapping up the program today, but then let me leave you with these words. There is nothing more important than a decent, good, safe and secure home. Keep it at the same time next week. As always, I am your housing diva, Fleur Annie. See you soon.